go into the hospitals and mysteriously come down with pneumonia. They go in with a leg break or go in with something else, and then they say, well, we have to keep them in longer because it seems they have pneumonia. See, this is a sure way of keeping people in the hospital if they have good insurance. See, when the hospitals and doctors become for-profit businesses, when their hospital become a for-profit business, they're in business to make money. So if they have someone that come in the hospital with a minor scenario but has good insurance, I can just charge the insurance up by just giving this person pneumonia. She's breaking down how exactly this is done. Now, ironically, you're not hearing about anyone dying from pneumonia all of a sudden. Huh? COVID-19? I think you get the gist of this, right? I was going to save this for tomorrow, but since we're on a roll, look at this video here, folks. Since we're on a roll, I need y'all to see this. This is April 13th, 2005, before there was any such scare as COVID. A meeting that was had in the Pentagon. Listen to this.
On the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics.
We have these who believe in God. Now, why are they having these meetings at the Pentagon? Listen to this.
On the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics. And this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior.
Hold up. By vaccinating them against this will eliminate that behavior. Now, what is they talking about? They was using this back in 2005 during their war on terror in the Middle East, saying if we can give them this vaccine, then if we continue to kill their families and all that, then no new jihadists will come up to avenge their family who's been killed by us.
This is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very
That's not Bill Gates.
data in this next slide.
It's one of those Bill Gates
here we have
like
two
characters.
Brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now,
Now you have other debunkers like Snope and all that trying to say that this was a hoax. It wasn't no hoax, folks. This isn't no hoax. It's called a God gene. It was actually in a magazine about 20 years ago. They was talking about the fact that they were studying the neurological senses in the brain that actually shows a belief in God. When someone like those who go to church like us is under the scanner, it's like real radiant. It's bright, it's red. An atheist or someone who don't care at all, you can barely see that light in them. It even speaks of this in the book of Enoch, even for those who don't believe it. But it says in the book of Enoch that in the earth, there's beacons of light in the earth for those who believe in the Most High, and the angels can see them from the light as they walk to and fro within the earth. It's that gene in their temple, in their mind, in their brain that stimulates their desire to connect with the Almighty. Guess what? Esau found the gene. It's called the BMAT2 gene.
Here, who had low levels of the BMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up.
Look what happens to the individual on the bottom who read a religious text. And look at the light in their temple, in their foreheads. At the bottom. So this is what they're looking to stomp out. That passion, that belief, that quest for knowledge, that quest towards the Almighty. If they can take away our propensity to believe, they can make all of us willing slaves to do whatever they would like to do with us. And that's the real plan.
Is the right middle frontal gyrus shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the middle.
So with the vaccine, they will turn a fanatic. Now, they're claiming, folks, a fanatic is one who believes in God. We can turn a fanatic into a normal person. Let's hear that again.
To turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? The aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
And we think it have. You notice they said that they would produce this through a flu. Okay? Don't buy the left-right argument of Fauci, and all that other stuff in Wuhan and China. Don't buy it, folks. Again, they're behind you. They're behind there slapping you and hiding their hands. And when you turn around, you don't have no idea what it is. They'll say it's a cold. They'll say it's airborne. Or they'll turn the population against each other by having everyone run around with masks, suspecting that anyone is the enemy outside of those who've created this hysteria. So that you don't even trust your own family. I mean, how diabolical is this? Through a media campaign, they can separate your family from you, kill your family, real time, without any pushback, without anyone standing up for their... If we don't have our own family to protect us. And mind you, this is happening, folks. This is happening without them under duress, without us being forced under gunpoint. What was just mentioned is happening. Where we can allow our own families to be separated in a hospital, and you're sitting there and you're in your mind thinking that, yeah, it's COVID-19. It's better off them being there than being around us with that disease.